In today's Creative Beauty Shoot, I'm going to use 5 RGB continuous lights. Hey everybody, Lindsay Adler here. Over the last couple of years, I've really fallen in love with continuous lighting. It's for several reasons. I mean, one of the reasons is with continuous light, it's what you see is what you get. So if I'm doing something with really precise light or really specific colors, what I'm seeing in the back of my camera is what the final image is going to look like. It's just easier to get that precise, super saturated look. Now, another reason that I like continuous light, and I've been using it quite a bit in commercial work, is that I can capture both stills and motion with the same light. I don't have to make a change. And lastly, one of the reasons that I love continuous light is that I can play with RGB light, meaning I can get the exact colors I want, the exact hue, the exact saturation, the exact brightness. And so rather than trying to get it close with using gels and strobes, with RGB, I can get really precise. And so this has allowed me to create a wide range of images that are super saturated, bold, and eye-catching. And so I want to pass one of those techniques on to you today. We're going to be using 5 continuous lights, and all of these lights can go full RGB, any color that I want. Now, I do have to mention, as I was playing around with continuous light and starting to fall in love with it, I actually reached out to Nanlite and we produced a kit together. And so that's what we're using today. We are using the Lindsay Adler Color Portrait Kit. And in this kit, there is a Fresnel on a full RGB light, and then there are 4 different Pavotubes. And those are the tubes that you see in the background there. Now, the reason that I've chose this combination of lighting is that, first of all, I can choose any colors I want for all of the lights, but those tubes, depending on the configuration, I can act as rim lights, fill light, background light, and fill light from the side. And so by having these 5 different lights and ability to change to any color, I have endless combinations and endless possibilities. In fact, in the kit, this includes 12 different setups where I give you full behind the scenes. So behind the scenes images, the powers of the light, the measurements, everything that you need to recreate the look using what's in the kit. Okay, so with that, I want to show you one inspired by my subject today. So I want to play with something that's playing with cool analogous colors. Analogous colors are next to each other on the color wheel. So we're going to be using blues, maybe a little bit of teals. And I want something saturated and sparkly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build in each light one by one so you see how they're contributing to the photo. Then we're going to add a little bit of a special in-camera technique, and I'll show you a little bit of color grading and post-processing. Okay, so let's get started with our main light. Off to the left-hand side, you can see our main light. This is a Nanlite 60C, which is a 60-watt C, meaning full color light, and then on it is a Fresnel. Now, Fresnels are something that I use all the time when I'm trying to get an old Hollywood look. The reason I like these is it's a hard light that you can concentrate. You can narrow that beam. In fact, depending on how you zoom this light, you can kind of rotate it. You can have a tight area of illumination, or you can spread it out. This would be called spot versus flood. And so you can actually see the measurements on the side of the light. And then in the front of that modifier, there's something called barn doors. This allows me to block and flag light, so I can block it off the lower part of her shirt, for example, or make sure it's not hitting the side of the wall. Just another layer of control. One other benefit is that even though this light is only 60 watts, so it's not a very powerful continuous light, when you add on a Fresnel, it multiplies the output many, many times, so it actually makes it extremely bright. All right, so with this hard concentrated light, we're going to begin with that as my main light. Now, by the way, for this shot, I love my subject's eyes and the shape of her face. So we went with something really dramatic with the eyes. And for me, this is not a look that would be soft or dreamy. Instead, it is strong, it's aggressive. And that color is what inspired me to bring in some color into the scene. Okay, so let's see what the first light does. All right, so in looking at this shot, you can see just how hard, just how crisp that light is, especially by the shadow on her nose. Now, if we kind of step back, you can see that by using the Fresnel, zoomed in, concentrated spot a little bit, you can actually see that it starts to fall off. So lower down her body, it falls to shadow. Now, there's one thing that I haven't mentioned, and you'll see it later on. There is a very important reason for this outfit that I wanted to use a hard main light. We're gonna add a special filter later on, but let's actually build in the other lights before we add that special creative in-camera technique. So we've got our main light. Now I want to add in rim lights to help carve her out from the background. Also, I want to play up her beautiful jawline and her features. So what we're going to be using as rim lights are two Nanlite Pavotube 15Cs. These are the 2-foot Pavotubes. And again, they can go any color that I want. Because of the color of the eye makeup, I want one of them to be blue, so kind of pick up on that color. And then the other one, let's do a contrast of making it a cool white. So I'm gonna add those in now. All right, so you can see how these colors are carving out from the background, but one of the things I wanted you to notice is that the lights are at a little bit of a higher angle, which also lights the top of her head. So instead of having to add an additional light to light her hair, that upward angle is going to be really helpful for separation and making her hair really, really shine. So far we have our main light, 2 rim lights, but remember the kit has 2 more Pavotubes to play around with. So I could do a variety of things. I could add a fill light and a background light. I could add 2 more fill lights. I could add a hair light. But what I want to do first is play around with adding a fill that brings in that rim light. So one of our rim lights right now is blue. Let's add some fill to the front. So that's why I have the Nanlite Pavotube 15C on the right here. This one's going to go blue. Now what you can see is that all the shadows on the side of her face are now filled in blue. I have a class called The Magic of Gels. Now this class primarily talks about using strobes, but one of the lessons that I talk about in the class is that gels show up most in shadow areas. So the shadow area will absorb any color that you give it. So you can see here, if we compare the image where there is no fill on the right-hand side of the face to where I now have that blue Pavotube, you can see exactly where that color is going to appear. The shadows are where the color is most saturated. All right, so I think that this looks beautiful as is. I don't have to change anything, but right now everything is pretty monochromatic, right? We have the white light on her face, it's a cool white, and then we have the blues wrapping around her, and you'll notice that when I added that fill, it also made the background quite blue. And it's because the light is hitting her, but it's also spreading out to the background. If I didn't want this as a note, you could also add a grid. This would help with the fall off of light. Anyway, right now it is pretty much monochromatic. It's all blue. But what happens if I want to add a little bit more color range? I want to expand from monochromatic to analogous. Analogous color scheme is when colors are next to each other on the color wheel, which means I need to add something like maybe a green or a teal, which is what I'm going to do with my final light. My final light is a fill in the front here, and we're going to make this a little bit of a teal. Now what you can see is that the shadows over here, they've started to be a little bit more cyan, and then in some areas on this side of the face, you can actually see a little bit of that teal. So you can compare them and see what that additional color does to add a little bit more interesting color to the shot. I love what this looks like, but she's wearing a sparkly outfit. And when I see sparkles, I think star filter. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to add a 4-point star filter. Now the key with the star filter is that you need to be using harder light. In this case, this is why I chose the Fresnel as the main light, right? A Fresnel is a really hard light source and it's going to sparkle off of those sequins. And you need to have something reflective. So I've got my hard light, my reflective sequins. I'm going to add the star filter into the mix. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to take a shot of her straight on, but every time she moves, the stars are going to move to a slightly different position. Now, by the way, this 4-point star filter is what I recommend if you want to see a lot of the starburst effect, but there are several other star filters that give you a little bit more of a subtle look. All right, let's add the star filter. So there are a couple things that happen with this image. You definitely see the starburst on the clothing, but you'll also notice you're seeing a little bit of haze coming in from the edges of the frame. That's from those rim lights. This is something that will often happen when you're using a star filter because it takes any light that it sees and it kind of streaks it and stretches it. So if you didn't like that effect, you have a couple of options. You could back up and zoom in. This narrows the field of view and will help reduce your lens flare. The other thing that you could do is add barn doors. There are barn door attachments that you can purchase to add to the 2-foot or 4-foot or even larger Nanlite Pavotubes. I'm probably going to back up and zoom in, and in fact, I think my composition is going to be vertical anyway, so I don't see this as too much of a problem. Now, there's one other thing that happened when I added a star filter. When you add a star filter, because of how it diffracts the light, it often makes the picture look a little bit flat, a little bit hazy, and so I'm going to want to do a little bit of adjustment, a little color grading, if you will, playing around with tonality, sharpness, clarity, in order to bring back the pop and contrast to that image. All right, so what I'm going to do to begin with is add a little bit of contrast and a little bit of clarity. Let me just show you how those two things make a massive difference already. It's much sharper, it has a lot more pop to it. Now, I will say when you add contrast, what it does is it makes highlights brighter and shadows darker. And so in this image, you'll notice how it looks like she became a little overexposed. I don't really mind it because it makes her look porcelain, but if it bothered you, I would just come in with the exposure or come into highlights and bring it down just a little bit. And you'll notice how much more pop and sharpness there is to this image. Now, it did make the background a bit darker, so I could bring up my shadows if I wanted to see more of that blue on the background. So this is what I did in post-processing. By the way, I also recommend when you're using RGB lights, play around a little bit with the white balance and tint, because it often will give you unexpected results. For example, here, I dragged the tint and I made it green, and now maybe I play around with the saturation. It's not what I was going for here, but it is a completely different interpretation of this image simply by messing around with tint and white balance. So let me undo that and go back to what I really liked, which was this look. All right, so I think I have all of the ingredients put together to make a really beautiful image. I'm going to be shooting with the Canon R5 and the Canon RF24 to 105 2.8. Now there's a reason that I really like this combo. When you're working with continuous lights, especially these portable and less expensive lights, they don't have a ton of power output. And for that reason, I usually need to shoot at a wider aperture and a higher ISO. So for example, for this setup, I'm shooting at f2.8 and ISO 800. If I were shooting with strobes, I would be nowhere close to those camera settings. But these are lesser powered, and so I need to shoot a wider aperture, which is why having a 24 to 105 2.8 is so useful, and why I'm really happy I upgraded to this lens over the 4.0. All right, so keep in mind, I have 5 continuous lights, RGB, all of them, including the white light on her face, by the way, which could go to any color. Then I've got my star filter, but then we're gonna bring this all together with the pose, the expression, and camera angle. All right, let's get the shot. These photos are colorful, they're dramatic, and that's exactly what I was looking for out of the Lindsay Adler Color Portrait Kit with Nanlite. So if you want to see the tools, the gear used to make these images, be sure to check out the links in the description below and visit Adorama.com. And remember, if you get this kit, it comes with a guide that has more than a dozen different setups that you can use to recreate those looks, the behind the scenes, the gear used, and more. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this behind the scenes, and if you like this content and you want to see a lot more of it, be sure to like and subscribe. See you next time, everyone.